Today I figured you could join me with my new ProChrono LTD chronograph. It's not the fancy one that hooks up to the phone, and I figured I'd try some of my old bows. This old double shelf Grizzly from the 50s, static tip. This had like an 1/8 of an inch of dust on it, way up on top of the rack. I have one more I got to take down and wipe down later. But I'll just tell you, I'm going to read off a little paper here. The arrow I'm going to be using on all these bows that are around 40 pounds, 44 pounds is my hunting arrow. It's a Beeman center shot 400 spine. It's got a 50 grain insert, 100 grain tip up front. It's 31.5 inches. So that's 480 grains total. And then other than the couple of old ones I have, I'm going to shoot a lighter 600 center shot, 32.5 inches. With a 75 grain tip. It's only 350 grains. And the reason from 480 to 350 is we're going to look at the speed, just to see what the speed is. You know, you get a flatter trajectory for like 3D. I'm not a speed demon. I'm all about accuracy, you know. So let's just see. Let's see. We're going to start with this Grizzly. Gotta go like an arrow length from here so you can watch me shoot. (132 feet per second), which I believe is about right. This has a B55 string on it. Okay, I'm gonna shoot one more. (136 feet per second). All right, just to give you an idea, the chronograph's working good. This is an old double shelf Grizzly, static tips. And then we're going to go to the next one. I'm just going to shut this off so I can splice it together nice and neat. Okay, this is my very rare 46-inch Hertis. I like the style on this. There was two 46s. One had like a round riser, which I have inside. Snapped on me. I made it into a lamp. And this one I still have. And I took a few does with it. Nice little bow. I was always curious to see, once again, not a speed demon, but what it's kicking out. B55 string. And this one here is 45 pounds at 28. And by the way, my draw length is like 27 and a half. Stand back, narrow length behind it. (123), 123 feet per second with that heavy hunting arrow. Send one more down just to confirm it. (126), okay? I'm gonna go to the next one. Okay, I always love this. This is an old Browning Explorer 1. Okay, I just like the looks of it. All wood. Brown glass. 43 pounds, 56 inches. Okay, we're going to shoot that first, the 480 grain arrow. Then we're going to try the lighter 350 grain arrow. See what it comes out to. 130 with the heavy arrow. Let's try the lighter arrow. .151. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing the lighter arrow and the heavier arrow is for the guys that want to shoot 3D. Okay. For hunting, use the heaviest arrow. You can shoot accurately within your range without dropping off. I'm not one of these guys that like to have a sinker in the front of my hunting bow, like a 650 grain arrow. And you can only shoot 15 yards, you know, before it digs in the dirt. You know, the 480 grain with a cut-on impact head, razor sharp. This year I'm using Mako's. That'll blow through a deer, no problem. All you have to do is pop the lungs on the deer, and the deer's yours. It ain't going far. So that's the reason for the 2 sets of arrows. Let's see it. We'll move on to the next one, okay? Okay, I figure I throw in my longbow. 47 pounds at 28 inches. It's 58 inches long. It's called A Short Cloudy Night by 7 Lakes. I believe Mr. Bellinger, the Boyer, this was his bow, okay? And the only thing I did do to it years ago was I just took a little bit off the shelf, tiny little bit. You still got to shoot a canted and all, but a tiny bit I took off the shelf, off the riser, not the shelf, just moved it in a little bit, okay? So let's see, this is for the hunting arrow. Okay, this is the 480 grains. (132 feet per second). One more. This is a hunting weight arrow. (130). Here's a lighter 3D arrow, 350 grains. I gotta watch, the arrows are starting to touch down there. All right, 350 grains, let's see what we get. (146). Kind of a big difference, right? Let's do one more. Okay. (144). Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, out of all the bears, the Kodiak Mag is 52 inches. It's my favorite bear recurve. This is an older model, not a new one. It's 45 pounds. Okay, I had one of these, another one of these years ago that I actually cut the shelf back past center and then refinished. Looked beautiful. Just, you couldn't tell the difference. And I'm not telling anybody to do this, because if you have a heavy bow or whatever, there's a chance the riser could snap and you get hurt. But I loved it. I loved it, and I used it for 3D. And I got one of my highest scores ever on an indoor 3D place, 288 with it, and the targets were out to like almost 40 yards. So let's see this Kodiak Mag. I'm curious myself. Okay, we're going to start with the 480 grain arrow and then shoot the 350. (124 feet per second). This one deserves the second one just to see. (131). Okay, so that's a good idea. Now we're going to go with a lighter arrow. Okay, 350 grains that you would probably use for 3D. And let's see how it shoots. (144 feet per second). Big difference. One more fly, just because I love this bow. I haven't shot it in so long, all right? Sorry if it's a little boring, but some of you guys might have these bows at home, and just get an idea. The results will be similar. (142), okay? Then we're going to move on to the next bow. Okay, here's a 62-inch Razorback, one of the bows I used to teach with. It's only 20 pounds. And I have this 310 grain arrow, and we're going to shoot it through the chronograph just to see what happens. (115 feet per second). Okay, for some reason these readings just seem a little lower than I thought. So I'm going to have to try this in the house too with the light to see if there's a difference. Okay. Okay, now we're getting into the modern bows. Okay, this ILF bows I have. Okay, this is a VPA 13-inch riser. Once again, I have a short draw. These are Yucca limbs. These are Yucca Urig 100% carbon limbs. Incredibly fast, incredibly smooth. Okay, we're going to take a shot with the hunting weight arrow. See what it pops up. Okay, that's 145. I'm going to have to redo this. I did it in the house and came up with a really high number. Let me redo it. I think outside with the shades on, you get a more accurate reading. I had a reading of over 200 feet per second in the house, but let's see. 145. Let's take another one. $139. Okay. One more. $138. Okay. Let me shoot a 3D arrow out of it. $166 feet per second. I thought these were kicking out a lot faster. I'm not sure if I'm doing anything wrong with this. I'm going to clear it, just take a couple of more shots. Stand back a little further. $142. Okay, I guess it is what it is. Now we're going to take my 3D bow next. See what that is. Okay, this is my Morrison 15-inch riser. Okay, this has the Yucca Urig at 35 pounds. I think it's actually set like 34 pounds at my draw length, okay? These are very light, velocity 29.25-inch arrows. And the arrow weight is 310 feet per second. 310 grains. Let's see how many feet per second we get out of it. 310 grain arrow. $161. So it's a little 34-pound bow, shooting 161 according to this chronograph. $154. Shoot another one. $157. Okay. I'm gonna have to check on it, read up on it, make sure that everything is working correctly. I honestly thought the numbers on some of these bows would be a little higher. So it's just an on-off switch. You really can't screw it up, the kind of chronograph. It's just on-off. And it tells you what it is. You have to be an arrow length in front of it to shoot it. So you just have to, I guess we'll just accept what it is what it is. Now in the house with this chronograph, I had to put the lights in on. and I got a crazy reading with the hunting bow. 230 feet per second in the house with the hunting bow. So I'll have to read up to see what's better, indoors or outdoors. You know, indoors with that light set or outdoors in the bright sun. See what gives the most accurate reading. But for now, that's what we got. It is what it is. All right, have a good day. Watch my other videos on Barebow Joe. And if I post this, I'll add something to it saying why, you know, what's the correct way. Sunlight affects it, indoors affects it, what's better, all right? Okay, I want to give you an update on the ProChrono LTD. I was kind of shocked. I was shocked that the numbers I was getting from the bows, the readings, feet per second, was so low. They were like incredibly low. I expected readings like in the 180s, 190s with the modern bows, and I wasn't getting that. So I actually called them up, and they're a great company. They really are. It's Competition Electronics is actually, you know, who makes it. And I spoke to Crystal there, and I told her I shoot in the living room, you know, I make the videos. And she said, can you send us a video? And I said, yeah, sure. As a matter of fact, let me set it up now. And I shot it through the chronograph. And, you know, I had these low readings. And I happened to have the light kit. I added on the light kit. I bought that, and that came and had the light kit on. And the weird high reading I got was before I got the light kit. And she said, I said to her, she said the lighting affects it too. There's certain types of lights that will throw it off indoors, and that's why you should use the light kit. So that's probably the freaky high reading I got, was because I had the hi-hats on and I was shooting through the chrono before I got that light bar. So anyway, make a long story short, too late. I used to tell my friend that all the time, too late. I set up the chronograph, shot indoors, and I got the same low readings. She said, do you have anything that, you know, was a little faster? I said, yeah, I got a Pelican, one of these high-powered Pelicans that shoot like 900 feet per second. She says, oh, yeah, can you shoot that through the chrono? I says, yeah. So I got a 2x8 board that I had, put it behind, you know, put it in front of the targets. And I shot it. It's supposed to be like 900 feet per second. It was 850, okay? So she says, well, it does seem like it's working. I said, yeah, is it possible that it works at the higher feet per seconds for, let's say, a gun, and for the slower arrows, it could be off or something? So, bottom line is, she said, send it in, we'll check it for you. And I sent it to them, and I spoke to them tonight, and they said that they tested it with a compound bow that they have that they know shoots 280 feet per second. So they shot through their chrono and my chrono, and both of them were the same 280 feet per second. So there's nothing wrong with the chrono. It's just the speeds. It is what it is. So they're going to send it back to me, and I figured, okay, I wasn't sure if I was going to post the video or not because of these low speeds. You know, I said, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But it is what it is, okay? So am I a little disappointed in the speeds? Yeah, but it really don't matter. You know, it's the speed don't matter. You know, that little 46 Hertz, I really thought was kicking out there. The old Hertz bow. I shot a few does with that, you know, years back before we had the cameras, you know. So I dug in, I found the picture. I'll show you the picture of one of the does I got. The last deer I got was like, with that was, I forget, like 2017 or something. And that had such a slow feet per second. And it just goes to show the feet per second really don't matter. I'm almost sorry I bought a chronograph. I got to get it out of my head that the speed doesn't mean anything. You have a good heavy arrow, you have good shot placement. You always shoot for the lungs. When you're hunting, you pop both lungs. Deer can't breathe, you know, and it'll fall right in front of you. It'll fall within 40 yards, you'll get that deer if you pop both lungs. And you don't need a lightning bolt to hit it. You just need a good solid heavy arrow that's razor sharp, and you'll get your game, okay? And for 3D even, right? Do you really need the number? You know, a lighter arrow gives you more speed. So you shoot a lighter arrow, gives you a little more flatter trajectory, and you practice with it. And that's all. You know, the number might be disappointing to you. I know some shops used to have chronographs, and I think they did away with them probably because, you know, most of the bows aren't what the specs say they are. They're a little slower, you know. Those high numbers they get are under ideal conditions, you know, and I don't think you could duplicate them, you know. So anyway, it's a good company. They were very nice, okay, to talk to. They were cooperative. They tested it, you know, they're sending it back to me. You know, Competition Electronics, would I buy from them again? Absolutely. You know, I wouldn't even think twice about if I needed anything that they made, I'd buy it from them, okay? So it's a good unit, and the results are what they are, okay? Have a good night. Look at the rest of my videos on Bad Bow Joe. There's a lot, you know, why we miss, be a shooting machine, all kinds of things. Check them out. I'm sure you'll find something in there that'll help you out. Okay, have a good night.